Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to build a custom Alexxa skill today. If you're here, you might be somebody that are just getting started into technology, maybe somebody that been messing around with technology before, or maybe somebody that are not in technology but have some business you'd like to solve some of the problem for your customers with Alexxa. A simple introduction. My name is Sterling Axime. That's how people pronounce it. But in reality, the E is silent. So it's Sterling Axime. This is my online picture. I know it doesn't look like me because I do not. Second thing is I'm a YouTuber. Anybody know what YouTube is? Okay, good. And I'm also a software engineer for Cox Automotive. And beside that, I'm also an instructor at Georgia Tech Coding Bootcamp. All right, so Alexxa. Let me mute my Alexxa for now. Okay, cool. All right, so Alexxa, Amazon has a lot of devices. You can see a majority of devices that they have. There's a different series. One of the things to take away from this is not only you can clearly speak with a device, but they also screen devices that you can actually interact with to see what the device is saying. And at the end of this section, we're not going to go through, but I'll show you guys how we can build a skill to support Chinese. Anybody speak the Chinese language? Oh, okay, great. But anyway, we're going to show you guys how you can build skills for different languages into Alexxa skills. Now let's take a look at here. In January 2018, the population of viewers was about 252. And within that population, there's been over 47.3 million smart devices, which means every single person, however, is holding a smart speaking device in their house. It's either Alexxa, it's either Google Voice, it's either Cortana, whatever it is, but the idea behind it is this is growing. It is going pretty big. But if we take a look at the evolution, and that's when things so let's remove the height. You gotta hit it all up. There you go, cool. We'll stay with that for now. But if you take a look at this, is in 1961, the first device that we had was something that was built for IBM, which only supporting 16 words. Into the second device, it kept going and further until we have Alexxa in around 2014 and 2015. Since then, this entire graph is showing that there's been around 50 years of development into smart devices to really try to bring such personal experience to every single person that owns a smart device into their home. So it really has been evolving since the last time that they tried it with 16 words. And you can see here is the second time they were able to support 1,000 words within a smart devices. And of course, this presentation will be available for you guys. You can feel free to go down the list. But there's been an evolution here for over 50 years to now. But the big question is, how can we get started with Alexxa skills? If we are a developer, what are the things that we need in order for us to get our hands dirty to build our custom skills? Well, the first thing that you need, there are two things that are required. The number one thing is you need what they call an Alexxa developer account. This is an account that anybody can create. You definitely need that account in order to build any skills, either Alexxa skills, whatever skills that you want to build for Alexxa, you need that account. And we'll show you how it looks. And the second account that you need is you need an AWS account, which is Amazon Web Services account. So these are the two accounts that you need in order for you to get started. Once you get those two accounts out of the way, then you can start getting ready to start writing code for Alexxa, which we're gonna do today. So how does Alexxa developer account looks like? This is how it looks like. When you go to their website, you will see something like this, and you can actually go and create a developer account. Again, for this one, I don't think they need your credit card. But for Amazon Web Services, they do need your credit card just in case you go over the limit. But this is how AWS account looks like. Once you have an account, you definitely need these two accounts in order for you to get started. But currently, Alexxa doesn't provide you everything for every single programming languages out there. There are three major SDK only available for the following languages. Number one, it is node.js, which means they have already pre-custom codes that you can use in order to start building any Alexxa skills. The first language they support, it is something called node.js. Any node.js folks here? Okay, I only see 2 or 3. Any node.js folks here? Okay, great. And then the second thing they provide you is they provide you an SDK for Python. Again, these are just custom codes that you can just plug it in and start a very basic Alexxa skills. And I'll show you guys how we can use those Alexxa SDK and so on. And lastly, they support Java SDK as well. But there's one question here. If they only support the 3 languages for now, what if I'm doing C#, or maybe I'm doing Perl, maybe I'm doing some other languages that they do not support in SDK? Well, the cool thing about the Alexxa skills is they provide you an API as well, where you can use that API and plug in the code, and you can start building custom code. The only thing about that is you're gonna have to start from scratch. There's no pre-built code for you to get your hands with and start building skills. So that's available. That doesn't mean that if you do not know those languages, it's impossible. It is possible. You can still build custom skills using any languages of your choice. Acronyms. I don't know if that's the right word. Again, I'm not an English speaker, but what I really meant is these are the words that you're going to hear over and over when you start building and Alexxa skills. The first one is intense. Intense, we're gonna go deeper into it, what it means. And those are the 4 words. If you're able to master them, then building a skills, even a 5-year-old person can build the skills if they master those 4 acronyms or keywords, whatever you guys wanna call them. But what are these? The first one, intent. Intent is what your skill can do. For example, right, when I build the skills, what is it the things that your skills can do? Well, in order to provide your skill with capability, you're gonna create what they call intent. And intent is things that the user can say, and then once they say them, then the intent process trying to understand that Mr. Sterling says this. So this is what intent is look like. Again, we're gonna do a live demo. We'll kind of show you guys how that entire things look like. And the second one is the word slots. Not the slow animal that was at the DMV. No, just SLOTS. So it is a representative list of possible values. And what that means is, you know, English is such a big language that people can speak. So you can try to mean this, and then they translate it into something else. So slots is the ability to try to get the user to say the right thing. You know, it's, hey, if you say Sterling, no, it's Sterling, but it's okay because I got you. Slots covered that for you. Or maybe you can say Sterling. No, you said Sterling, so we're gonna translate it into Sterling, and then we got it. So slots is the possible ways that you can get that working for you. And the other thing is, anybody can help me pronounce that word? Okay, thank you. All right, but anyway, what this means is a set of likely spoken phrases that the user can say, and based on what they say, then they map it to what the user, what the intent is capable of doing. So think about it as greeting somebody, right? Greeting somebody, you can say different things, such as hello, hi. All of these are utterances that the user can likely say. Or you can say good morning, good afternoon. Or if you want to go even fancy, you can say what's up, and stuff like that. But utterances are different things that the user can say, and based on when they say them, then they map it to what they call the intent. And if you guys remember, the intent is the capability of what your skill can do. So the utterances is the one that try to know what the user say and map it to that capability. And the next thing you know is Alexxa is working to your skills. The last one is the most interesting and the most complicated one into Alexxa. It is called models. And if you read the description here, it is the structure that identifies the step for multi-turn conversation between your skills and the user to collect all the information needed to fulfill each entity. So the whole thing that you're doing, whatever you're building your skills, it is inside a model. And the model is the one that you can define the intents inside the model. You can define the utterances inside the models. Anything that you need to your Alexxa skills, you define them inside the model. Now the model is going to train your skills with Alexxa, machine learning and everything, and then try to do that multi-turn conversation with the user to collect the necessary information to do it so your skills can interact with them. It is really fascinating, but one thing I can tell you for sure is the models is the one that do all the heavy work, and all you need to do is focus on your utterances, your intents and slots, and you're ready to go. That's how easy it is. All right, let's see what else we do. Oh, live coding. That's the fun part. All right, let's see what we can get you. All right, so let's build one. Let's build one from the ground up, okay? If you guys remember, we need a developer Alexxa account. We're gonna build a very simple skills. I'm gonna show you guys how to connect them, and then we're gonna go a little bit deeper and show you some example and stuff like that. And I'll walk you guys through how you can build skills for different languages and so on. So first thing first, I go to Alexxa developer, and under here I can see the list of the skills that I have available. I built a couple skills for the last couple days, and all of them are different one that I built. I built a specific one for my team. That was which one? I don't remember which one. I think probably the team lookup. And what this does is at work, every single person that is on my team, if you just say open that Alexxa skills, it will listen to you until you say one of our coworker name. If you say Sterling or whichever other coworker that I work with, and based on the name that you say, it will tell you a funny fact about them that's real. So it is really cool things in terms of so many things that you can do with Alexxa. But how can we create one? Once you go here, all you need to do is click this create skill button, which is a 5-year-old person can do. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And once you go here, this is where you tell your skills the name, like, you know, what is the name of your skills so that you can identify that. So let's call this one Happy Summer. Summer is close by, right? Okay. So Happy Summer, that's gonna be our skills. And they have different ones that you can build, such as fast breathing, smart home. This is your chance to build skills that are more specific to smart home devices. And you can see the big majority of skills that you can do here. But the one I'm going to select, which is the most recommended one, is the Alexxa hosted one. The Alexxa hosted one, it is the one that will allow you to connect with Amazon Lambda endpoints, which makes the whole process so much easier for you to integrate with instead of having your own server. So we'll use that for that demo purposes. So once I select that, I go back up and I just hit the create skill button. How is it that? Super simple. Anybody can do that. So this is gonna take a second. As you can see here, it is building my model. Again, the model is the most complicated things here. Even though we're not gonna have to do anything, but it is going to be the guy that do the heavy work behind the scene in order for our skills to work. All right, this is it. This entire thing right here is your model. This is where you're gonna do things. This is where you're gonna remove things. This is where you're gonna be creating things to be interacting with your customer and so many other things. For now, they give you a very simple dummy example. So one thing I'd like to show you here is this. If you go over wherever it said invocation, This is the key point right there. This is how Alexxa is going to know to start your skills. Because remember, Alexxa is such a big device that have thousands of skills available. But how can we tell Alexxa to open our specific skills? Well, this is your opportunity to show Alexxa, hey, my skill is something called Happy Summer. Whenever somebody said open Happy Summer, then that's when I want to interact or open my skills. So let's do that. Let's test it. If you over here, there is different tabs. There's the code version, there's the test version, there's the distribution. So we're going to open the test version. So I'll open that into a different tab. All right, so once you go here, I'm going to disable that for development. And you see, all right, so what's the name of our invocation? So we'll do Happy Summer. So I'm going to do open Happy Summer. Let's see what it does.
Welcome. You can say hello or help. Which would you like to try?
There you go. So it works. But so far, this is one of the worst Alexxa skills that's ever created because it is not smart. All it knows to do is do that. Let's see if we do something else.
Hello world.
You see if I type anything else?
Here's what I found on Wikipedia.
Nothing else. That's not our skill.
In
That
many
just
mythological,
couldn't find anything
folklore,
else.
and religious
It just dumped something else. So the goal behind this is our skill
Welcome.
right now. All
You
it
can say
needs
hello
to
or
know
help.
is
Which would you
welcome,
like to
blah, blah,
try?
blah. And if I say hello,
Hello world.
you just say me hello world. You cannot make money with this, can you? No. Nobody want to buy this. So you want it to be smart. Let's make it smart, right? But before that, I'm going to show you guys how you can connect it. Again, we need that AWS account. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to log in into my AWS account. So the one I'll use is this. I'm going to go to Lambda. I'm going to use Lambda. So once I go to Lambda, I'm going to go here and create what they call a function. And this function is going to be the guy that's going to be responsible to make Alexxa say something more interesting than what it's saying right now. So if I take a look at it, this section is the key points. There's the scratch, there's the blueprint, and there's the browse serverless. The one I want is the browse serverless because there is over 440 code example out there that's giving you what they call an Alexxa template. So I'm going to search for one. I'm going to say Alexxa node.js template or basic, something like that. See what we got. So let's see. Yep, basic welcome. Something very dummy, just going to show you guys, and we're going to go a little bit deeper. So once I find a template, I'm going to rename this one. This is going to be Happy Summer. So Happy Summer. I'm going to call that the same. I'm going to copy that and paste that in here and then deploy that. So what this is going to do is this is going to take whoever person's template. Let's see if we can find that person who built that template. Let's find him out. So the person that built the template, it is this guy. He built this template and put it on Amazon, which means anybody can go and use that template as a starting point for you to mess around and build skills into Alexxa. So this is the template from this guy that we're using. And all the template is doing is it's going to go and build every necessary things that you need for your backend to be ready to interact with Alexxa. This is going to go and use, if you're familiar with AWS account before, it's going to go ahead and build what they call a cloud formation for Lambda with basic permission and so many other things. So when it's building, I'm going to go to that particular skill.
I have a question.
Yep.
So right now we haven't actually created anything. We're just setting up like the backbone to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what we're doing. Because if you remember, Alexxa, our skill right now doesn't do anything. All it does is hello world. We don't want that. We want something much smarter. All right, so let's connect it. This is the services that we're creating to be able to connect with our Alexxa. So once I have that, here's a couple basic example of code they gave me. I'm gonna minimize that to kind of show you guys. So here's the starting code for my backend. This is going to be where I code things based into what the user said, okay? This is where, based on what they said, I'm gonna building logic, the core business for my business. This is where I can sell things to customers. There's so many things that you can do here once you have access to that code. So let's take a look at one of the intent handler that we have. And any of single code that we have here is going to be one specific for every single intent. Again, you see the word intent. So whichever intent the user is trying to do, then this code is going to be the one that connected with that particular intent. What does that mean? If I go back into my Alexxa, so if I take a look at this, here's my intents. How many I have? I have 5 of them. I got a custom one they give me, something called Hello World. But if you take a look at right here, we have 4 other intents that are created by default. Every single skill that you create, they have that intent. And what are they? They are built-in intent that are required by Amazon for you to have. The first one is the ability for the user to cancel your skills. By the time the user said cancel, Amazon's gonna take the user, or Alexa's gonna take the user off your skills and for that user to continue their journey on Alexxa. And they have different other one, such as help, stop, and the other intents that we have. But the one we want to focus on is the hello world intent. Let's see what that does. This intent is going to execute whenever the user said so. Whenever the user said hello, it's gonna call the hello world intent. Whenever the user said, how are you? It's gonna call the hello world intent. How about if the user said, hey, something like that. So whenever the user said, hey, it's gonna call the hello world intent. Inside our code, the only thing we need to focus about is the name of the intent. What is that name? It is something called hello world. So I'm gonna copy that name and bring it over in my code. And here's my code. I'm gonna create a handler for it. So there is already a handler, so I'm gonna change that name to equal to hello world intent. And I'm gonna bring that hello world intent and register it inside the SDK, the node SDK they give me. And by the way, this is the node SDK package. So this is the intent that I'm gonna listen to. So how does that work? So this one, the way it works is it takes 2 functions. Number one is can handle, and second, it's something called handle. And what they really do is the can handle is the one that's gonna identify what intent the user meant. And if you guys remember, my intent was called hello world intent. So I'm gonna go here and say, all right, so whenever the user intended to say hello world, which could be the following, either they said, hey, hello, how are you, whatever it is, then I'm gonna respond to something like, we are in the full stack meetup. If it doesn't say that, then we know for sure it's not our skill. It's somebody random folk skill. So it should say, welcome to the full stack meetup. That's where we are. Now, once I completed this, I need to save it. But they haven't connected yet. I only go here and write code. But how is my code going to work if Lambda, whatever the setup is, the backend for now, is not connected to my Alexxa? But the question is, how can we connect them? We have the code, we have the Alexxa skills, but how can we connect both of them? Well, in order to connect them, I'm gonna go here. You see wherever it said Alexxa skills, the custom one they created for us. I'm gonna go here and delete that for now. And I'm gonna go here and add it again. And once I add it, I'm gonna click on where it said configuration. Once I clicked on that, it asks me to add the skill ID. All it needs to connect to your skill is the skill ID. And where can we get that? So I'm gonna go here on Alexxa. And if I scroll all the way down, wherever it said endpoint, if I go here, this is my skill ID. So I'm gonna copy that and bring it over to Lambda, paste this one in there, and then save the change. Now, Lambda is connected to my skill. But Lambda is connecting to my skills, but what about the skill? Is it connected to Lambda? So it has to be a mutual way. The Lambda needs to connect to the skill, and the skill needs to connect to Lambda. How can we connect the skills to Lambda? Well, in order to connect the skills to Linda, you need what they call RAN, which stands for Amazon Resource Name, which is a unique identifier for every single resources on Amazon. So I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna bring it over to the skill, and I'm gonna go here wherever it's a default region. I'm gonna remove whatever this was and paste this one in there and save my endpoint. And ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, they're both now connected. We should be able to test it and see if it works. Let's find out. That's gonna be the fun part. If you guys remember, we need the invocation name. I'm gonna copy that and say probably stop whatever Alexxa was doing. And I'm gonna say open somewhere. But check this out.
Welcome to the basic welcome skill.
Hello.
To continue,
It
please
should
tell
say
me your
welcome to the
name.
full stack meetup.
Sorry, an error occurred.
So hold on, let me verify one last thing here. And if I go here into the lynch one, I should verify the message. Yes, so it is connected. This is what's being displayed. The only reason, wait, let me verify. So this is intent name, we call hello world. Okay, yep, so this is the error right there. We don't have a slots. Oh my God, so that's fine. So we don't have a slots, that was the error. So let's save that. So back, and if I go here, I'm gonna stop the Alexxa. I'm gonna open my skill, and this
Welcome
time,
to the
if I
basic
say
welcome
hello,
skill. We are in the full stack meetup.
so the error was I didn't have a slots. It was trying to access a slot called name. So I don't have a slot. So I just comment that out, and then it was failing right here. And ladies and gentlemen, this is working. That's true. But the big question is, that's all fun. But how can we connect it to this device? All right? How can we do that? Well, the good news is whichever emails that you have, that you create an Alexxa developer Alexxa account that is also linked to this, every skills that you have, they automatically becomes available on this device. Shall we test it? Let's give it a try. Alexxa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1942, a star was born.
Alexxa, stop.
It's the birth.
I was just checking and see if it's alive. So it sounds like it's alive. So let's try it. Alexxa, open Happy Summer.
Welcome to the basic welcome skill. To continue, please tell me your name.
Hello.
We are in the full stack meetup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alexxa. I love it. That's fun. All right, one port completed for now. All right, so what else? The connection is done. You got your backend, you got your skills, you got different things and so on, right? So let's build another intent that could listen for something else. So I'm gonna call this one kind of like, what should we call it? Welcome intent handler, something like that. I'm gonna call this one welcome intent handler. So I'm gonna copy that and register it into my SDK. So this is how we register them using this one. So right after that hello, I'm gonna say hello. So I'm gonna register that. And what I'm going to do is, where's my welcome? So this is my welcome intent. I don't have that yet. I'm gonna create a new one. So how do we create a new one? Well, I'm gonna click on this and I'm gonna call this one welcome intent. So I'm gonna display a welcome message. And whenever the user say welcome to Atlanta, we're gonna display something else. This is one thing the user can say. If the user say, hey, Atlanta, we're gonna display the same message. What else the user can say? Maybe first time in Atlanta. We're gonna display the same thing. So utterances are different things that the user can possibly say. Maybe the word Atlanta, something like that. Or we can say visit Atlanta. Again, I'm not good at utterances, guys. I'm sure you can come with better one, but this is what I'm hoping the user is gonna say. And for now, we only want to have one user, which is definitely me, and I'm sure I'm definitely gonna say this. So that's cool. But if you're building something for customers, you need to think about every single possible case that your business need to handle those logic. Once we create that intent, we're gonna go ahead and build our model. And now we're gonna take the name of that intent. We're gonna go back to our code and then search for, that was welcome. So the intent is welcome intent. And based on whenever the user say one of that, we're gonna say welcome to Atlanta. Something like that. Welcome to Atlanta. We are excited to see you. Something like that. Okay.
Put Samantha's name on there.
There you go.
She's an outsider. Use your name.
Samantha, just come to Atlanta. So we'll do Samantha, welcome to Atlanta. We're excited to have you. We've saved that. And let's see if our model is finished building. Where's our model? Sounds like it's finished. So let's open our app again. So if I do open Happy Summer.
Welcome to the basic welcome skill.
That's
To
cool.
continue, please tell me your name.
But now, what was the intent I added for that? If you guys remember, okay. There was something called Atlanta. Let's say, hey, Atlanta, something like that. All right, so let's say, hey, Atlanta.
Samantha, welcome to Atlanta. We are excited to see you.
How cool is that? All you need to do is building multiple intents, and based which utterances the user said, then your skills behave accordingly. But what if the user didn't come to Atlanta? They wanted to come to Germany. They wanted to come to a different place. They wanted to come to China or whatever places. This is where slots in comes into play. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a custom slot. So we're going to remove the word Atlanta and we're going to replace this one with city. We're going to call this one city. And by the way, to build a slot, you just use the bracket and then you name your slot. So we're going to call this one city. Everywhere you see Atlanta, we're going to replace Atlanta with the word city. So we'll do the same thing for that. Oh, I think it was city, yep. All right, cool. That sounds pretty straightforward. Oops, godly, if I can type. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Oops, sorry. Atlanta, replace it with city. Atlanta, replace it with city. And then Atlanta, replace it with city. And cool. Now you have your slots, which is city, but they don't have any values. This is where you can build what they call custom slot. If I go over the slot type here, I can build one or I can use the existing one. Again, if you guys remember, Alexxa has built-in slots that you can use with all the cities in America or in different other cities. So this is the one for the US city. And they have over 15,000 one that they support. But for now, we're just going to support 2. We're going to call this one city with capital city. I'm going to call this one here. And the value I'm going to add Atlanta. And I'm going to add Germany. I'm going to add China. I'm going to add probably 80. And for now, we're just going to, Brazil. Yeah, I cannot miss Brazil. Favorite soccer player. What else? But yeah, we're going to leave this for now. Our custom slots only support the following value. But what we really want to happen is based on the city or based on whatever the user said, such as welcome Atlanta or welcome Germany, then we're going to get whatever city they said and then display a custom message to make our model a little bit more interesting to interact with. Again, we've done some changes, save our model, built it. And while our model is building, I'm going to...
Okay, can you add something from Africa?
Oh, yeah, Africa.
Yeah, put Ethiopia.
We'll get one more. Any folks here that has...
Put Ethiopia.
Huh?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
All right, finally I got something right. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Thank you guys. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go here and save my model again, build it. I'm gonna go here and build it. So I'm hoping my model build. Okay, so it's, let me remove all this notification. We're almost there, guys. Bear with me. So I'm gonna make sure I save it and then build up. Slot is, slot, it's failing because I'm missing something. Thank you, Mr. Model. So if I go back to my welcome intent, I put this hard-coded slot type, but they don't have any value. This is where you can assign all the city value that you added to that particular slot. So this is where I add that value, and now I can save my model and build it again. So now this time it should be successful. But while it is going to build that model, I'm going to go here and do one thing. If you guys remember inside my code earlier, I'm going to technically copy that. And then I'm going to paste this one here. That's going to be the slot value. So I'm going to say slot value. And then I think it's going to come here in slots. The object gonna come here in slot. I'll show you why I'm getting that. So the enter is gonna be slot and then the slot name. In this case, our slot name is equal to city, not the value. So I'm gonna say dot city. Oops, what happened? So I'm gonna go here, dot city, dot value. Cool. And then once we get this value, instead of Atlanta, I'm gonna replace this one with some JavaScript stuff. Again, this is not a JavaScript course, so if this does not make sense for you, my apology. But all we're doing is getting the start value. And we're gonna say, Samantha, welcome to whatever city we mentioned, and we're excited to have you. We're gonna save our code and go back, check our model. Sounds like our model finished. Let's test it out. All right, I hope that works, please. Anybody have ever had that feeling before as a developer? Okay. Paste that.
Welcome to the basic welcome skill.
Say
To
visit.
continue, please
What was
tell
it?
me your name.
So my intent was, hey Atlanta, let's try that.
Samantha, welcome to Atlanta. We are excited to see you.
Of course, you're Atlanta. Let's try another city.
Welcome to the basic welcome skill. To continue. Samantha, welcome to Africa. We are excited to see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the potential of slots. This is how you can use slots to get dynamic value from the user. But it can go even further. Let's say you wanted to say, go to the location, get a specific item. You can do the following, which we're not going to do. You can say, go to, and then we can add a slot called location. And then after that, you can say, and get, you can get a specific item. So you can build custom slot based into your business logic to accommodate how you want to respond to the user, which is pretty cool. And the other things that you can do as you have custom slot, you can either feel free to make them as a required slot, which means if they do not say so, then this one is going to be a required slot. Like if they say, hey, and they didn't say Atlanta, then you're gonna say, hey, did you mean to say a city? Then you can interact with it and so many other things. But the idea behind this is understanding intents, slots, and then UTTERANCEs. You can build a very scalable tools for your application. Before that, I think I'm gonna do one more example, but one thing I wanna show you to end this talk, two things. The first one is how can we, let's say, hey, we build this awesome Alexxa skills, but how can we first get friends to test it? Second, how can we make that skills available to everyone? Because right now it's only available to this. But what if I wanted to make it available to the entire world? Well, in order to do that, all I need to do is type wherever I said distribution. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna delete my changes, whatever they were. So we're gonna say distribution. This is where you're gonna fill out a lot of information. We're not gonna deploy this one because we don't have all the legal stuff required yet. You need a privacy that clearly states what are the things you're gonna do with the user information. Yes, you need that. But I don't have a privacy. But the goal behind this is you can fill in this entire information with your custom icon whenever that you're ready. Let me see if I can probably drag one for now. I'm just gonna pick one random icon. I hope that helps. Okay, cool, that works. I'm gonna pick a large one. I'm gonna pick this one, whatever this is. I have no clue. Pick a category, business and finance, keyword for your skills to be able to search. So when the people are searching for your skills, what are the things that they can search for, such as the keyword? If you guys use SEO, you might know exactly what I'm talking about. But you're filling all this information. Keyword, I can say GT for now, that's fine. And then your URL to your privacy, again, it is required if your skill is gonna go public. You need the terms. All of that are required. So if I click save, continue, and then I can click different other things. I'm just gonna click yes for now. Mention if your skill is gonna do any purchase and so other things. I'm just gonna select them randomly and show you guys where you can actually publish an instruction how people can use your skills. Here, when I get to this screen, and I believe this is the last screen, this is where you can choose how people can use your skill. Either you want it to be able to be available to the entire world, or either you want it to be able to just beta tester to test your app. In this case, I can select beta tester. I don't have a privacy, so it's stopping me right there. My beta tester cannot test it because I don't have a privacy. That makes sense. But once you have a privacy, clearly mention what your skills about, this section will allow you to add the emails to the person you want to test it. And once you add their emails, it will send them a link to their emails account, and they can click and see how they can install the skills. And once they install the skills, then they can interact it on their Alexxa devices, which is pretty cool. Now, this was how you can publish a skills for your business or for your beta tester. Again, privacy and terms or things that are required to make sure that your skills is in compliance with Alexxa. All right, so this is all great. This is all fantastic. We show you guys how you can connect it, but so far there's one issue, because this entire things that we're doing here is they're all online. They're not onto our local computer. We as a developer, we work locally, not in the cloud. Of course, sometimes networking people work a lot in the cloud, but we work locally. How can we bring this into our local computer? Well, the beauty is they have a CLI. It's called Axe CLI. You can feel free to install it, and to install it, it's just one npm command. You just install it globally into your computer, and it becomes available through your entire computer for you. And if you want to start a new app into your local machine, how you can do that is this. If I can open my terminal and zoom that one in. So if I go here, and I'm going to go to desktop, learning, and here to create a new skill, all I need to do is type the word ask. Ask. With ask to create a new skill, you can type the word new, and that will create a new skill for you. You can choose the multiple languages that you can select. For this one, Java is not supported, sorry folks, but Python is. I'm a Node guy, so I'll select Node. And you can find the majority of different templates that other people build that can be available for you. And you can, of course, select different other templates that can feel free to work for you. But one I'm going to select for now is just going to be feed for now, just to kind of show you. Where is it? I'll just select pet match. I don't have a pet. I'll do pet match. And this is going to go and create a template that's going to be available for you. And if I go into the pet match template and kind of open that into the code, and I'll quickly show you guys how this one look like. You have this entire template. And this entire template is your starting points. But if you look over here, is Lambda is where your backend is going to be. This is where the logics or all this coding online that we saw is going to be available for your Lambda function and inside the index.js. So this is the same code that we saw inside the editor that we were working with. Okay, this is the Amazon SDK, and these are the different intent that you can use. And then, of course, you register this intent inside your code right here. Again, this is for development purposes. Let's say, hey, I finished building this. How can we deploy it to Amazon? Before we do that, I'd like to mention one thing. Within the section, I mentioned, how can we build skills for multiple language? So if you want to create skills for multiple languages, this is where you can do that. You can technically open that model and create skills for multiple language. This is for whatever this language is. This one is the English version. This is where you can build your custom model, everything that you want, such as your intent, your utterances, and slots and different things for that specific language. If you want to do another one for another language, then you can do this for that particular language. So, but let's say you have a skill locally. How can you get it to AWS? I'll show you that into 1 minute. Which one we create? We call pet something. All right, cool. To deploy this one, all I need to do is do the word axe deploy. That's how easy it is. Axe deploy, that will take your skill from your local computer and push it all the way to AWS account, and then you can do further testing right there. We're gonna verify that for 1 minute, and while this is verified, I'll show you guys the skills I'll build for my team. Alexa, open team horsepower.
Welcome to the horsepower team. You can start by saying, tell me about a coworker name.
Alexa, tell me about Sterling Axime.
Sterling is a software engineer and have been with Cox for a year. He is having a baby this year, and it's a boy. Hey, we are
Alexa,
horsepower team.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right, to show you this in the console, and we'll end the talks right there. I'm gonna go back to the console, your skills. We should be able to see the pet match. If we saw that, and there you go. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of my talk. Thank you.